you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know we tas whooping. Let me tell you what happened. Is it get it in? But before we get it in, let's get this super Norteno intro in. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction that the gun stays kicking, right? Whooping! And let's get it, man. Hey, respects to everyone. I appreciate the support. I'm very humbled by it. So this one is called No Fair Ones. Double up, Super Norteno. You get the baked potato and the papas. You get both of them today, man. Hey, the double entree, right? Let's go, guys. Super Norteno, No Fair Ones. And I remember my primo got into the No Fair Ones conversation for about a year straight, man. This dude was jumping out of every car talking about whooping No Fair Ones, right? So let me explain to you. For those of you I've never told you guys, but Peps was diagnosed a long time ago with cirrhosis of the liver. I don't even know how the motherfucker cut it. I didn't know he was drinking like that, right? I remember one of my Theos, Rick. I have a Theo named Rick, right? That got cirrhosis. And when he got it, the family was all freaked out. Like his old lady, they were making fucking big old pots of menudo. They were having his funeral before he even died. You know, he was still alive in hospice and shit. And they're doing menudo and fucking everyone's hugging and shit. I'm like, the vato's right there drinking a beer. What's going on here, right? His eyes are yellow as a Siamese cat, but he's over there drinking a beer. And I remember my Theo like, it's all good, eh? As long as I could drink, I could think, right? I'm like, yeah, why don't you think about not drinking? And yeah, I don't think that way, right? He was different. Anyways, he ended up bubbling and bouncing back, man. Didn't pass away for another 3 years. That motherfucker was like, the menudo tastes too good. And that was it. But I remember Pepe at that time was staying with me. My tia had called me and she was like, mijo, can Pepe stay with you for a while? He's just too much. He's sick and he's too much. And I said, well, hold up. I'm fucking not trying to catch the chronic or whatever he's got, right? Like, what does he have? And she was like, I don't know, mijo, but he's always says his side hurts and everything. I said, well, fuck it. I'll take him, right? As long as I could put him to work with me. At the time I was working in the fields, I had a cold hustle. I was out there making burritos, selling them for $10 a pop. The paisas were all over them, and I was all over the wallet. It was good, right? I was out there picking tomates and putting the tomates in the burritos and serving them. So I was out there winning. So I took Pepe a couple of times with me to the fields. He's like, this is not my style. I say, I'm going to skate back, do a gramo, and watch from a distance. It says, is there any shade around this motherfucker? Right. One time I had him picking tomatoes. He's like, we don't do this. This smells like dog shit. Right. I said, this ain't Fresno, is it? So anyways, he was staying with me. I was taking him to work with me. My old lady at the time was like, can you take your primo? Because he like tries to get at me. I'm like, well, what does he say? He says, nice ass. Right. That's exactly how he was, straight up. So anyways, he's kicking back at the house. Ricky and Sheila come by. And Rick, at this time, he had a little beater, a little stuff for a Honda Accord. That motherfucker ran for like 15 years, though. Them motherfuckers are the best, right? So I remember he's riding on fumes. He goes, whooping, what's up? He's knocking on the door. Whooping, 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 whooping. And stop fucking knocking on my door like you're dumb. Come in, man, right? So he comes in and he sees Pepe. He's like, what you got Southsiders living with you? Motherfucker, this dude's lived with you guys more times than he's ever. This is the first time he ever really lived with me. And he stood for like a year and a half. He was there. He was there. I couldn't get rid of him. I couldn't push him out of the house if I needed to, right? The only time he went somewhere is if I went somewhere. But anyways, right? I have a homeboy named Sharks, good ass homeboy of mine, right? So he decides to stop by. So it's like everyone's getting there like, fuck it. I had like a ghetto apartment in this place called Livingston, this little town, right? So I had a concrete porch in the back with the fence and everything. But I had a little grill back there. So I'm like, fuck it, let's cook some hamburgers and hot dogs. We'll give hot dogs to Ricky. He don't know no better. He likes eating hot dog. And we'll eat the fucking hamburguesa. Give me a hamburguesa. I say, I don't like Krabby Patty. I want a hamburguesa. So we're eating. The homies over there. Everyone's kicking it. And everyone's staring at Pepe because the way Pepe, he's nodding out. He's like, yes, I'm sick. He ended up getting diagnosed, like I said, with cirrhosis, right? So I was taking him to doctor appointments, doing all that shit. I don't know why my tia just couldn't do it. It's her fucking son, right? It's just my cousin from a distance. fucking south side. We don't even like them guys. Right? So I'm like, whatever. He's like, yeah, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I said, yeah, you know how to ride the bus? Is it, what if I run into one of your homies? I said, then you run into him. It said, I don't believe in fair ones. Right? So as we're getting there talking, we start talking about fair ones. It comes up because that was Pepe's thing. I don't believe in fair ones. So he starts getting into arguing with my boy Shark. My boy Shark is like, well, the way I was raised, man, if you're a real man, you catch a fair one. And he goes, well, let me explain to you. Say something about Compton. He said, I'm coughing because I'm sick. He said, what is a fair one? He said, you vatos up here got the game twisted. We are from down there, so we in the head with the 2x4 like the homie Casper from Playboys did to my stupid ass primo behind the band and Fred C. Nellis. I heard the story. I'm like, look, the homeboy says a fair one, and he's like, I wasn't talking to you, is it? I said, yeah, but you're living with me, fucker, and you're going to fucking listen to what I have to say. I don't also believe in fair ones. Hey, a fight is a fight. If a motherfucker, look, I believe in pulling up and fighting and doing all that shit, but hey, anything goes. Biting, scratching, gnarling, like whatever you have to do, right? Anything. Kick, roundhouse, fucking attack, offense, defense, like everything is good in my book. But anyways, he's getting into arguing with my boy, and Ricky's just in there watching him. Whooping, who do I pick? I don't like Sharky because he's an asshole, and I don't like him because he's a Southsider. I said, well, you always pick family. But in this case, I'm not agreeing with Pepe as well, right? Kind of, but kind of not. Pepe's like, I thought you said you believe in biting and fighting and pushing and cussing. I stepped back and said, I kept busting. And then I decided it's time for me to go. So I stopped, said, one more, they say, before we jump in the vehicle. It's like this. It's because of that whole ride. See, I'm a Mexican. I'm wanted for it. I'm not going to tell you what I'm wanted for. It's because there's just statute of limitations on that shit. Chale. Right? So I'm like, you're stupid. Anyways, right? They start getting into argument. They start bumping chests and shit. My primo's like, I said, look, you're shorter than me. I said, so watch out, hobble leg. Because my homeboy had a fucked up leg because he got stabbed in the back by Southsiders, right? So he hated Southerners. Here I got him in the house with, so he came over on his own. I didn't invite none of these fuckers. None of them, right? I had a chick that she wasn't a chick no more because she moved out. She didn't want to be a chick with me no more. She was like, no, you and your cousin just do your own thing. He always just trying to get at me. So I'm stuck there with fucking a house full of men and a fat chick, which is, of course, Sheila, and she's eating all the hot dogs, all the hog mog, right? So as we're kicking back in the backyard, they start bumping chests, right? So I'm like, fuck it, let him fight. So Sharky ain't no sucker. He's like, well, we could take it to the front. Usually people take it to the back, but based on the non-extensiveness of my backyard, you have to go to the front. And it's a fucking apartment complex. There's kids riding bikes. The ice cream man's going by about 30 times trying to make $5, right? It's just the roaches are out there just posted up like, fuck, move in, watch, move in. You know what I mean? Oh, you ain't got no food? Don't move in, right? So, I mean, we had the roaches on Boston in that place. The roaches would fall out of the sky from the neighbors up top. Damn, they'll just drop whatever you're eating. They'll just grab their fucking steak and run. You're like, hey, fuck, I'm going to get down on this ribeye. It's just no rib, gone, right? You're just eyeballing the plate like, damn, only papas? Straight up. Roaches were fucking, they were massive. They'll debo you. So anyways, I'm like, fuck it, let's take it to the front. I'm laughing. I'm drinking a beer. Ricky's like, Whoopin, should I jump in to help Sharky? I said, no, you're against your cousin. Let him fight one-on-one. And I can hear Pepe, no fair ones, they say. No fair ones, right? So they get in a fight. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. No bias, no nothing, man. It was fair, square, for reals. These guys were knuckled up. They were going at it. Pepe did not like fucking Shark. Shark did not like Pepe. They ended up getting along eventually down the line, but at this time, they hated each other. And they're fucking, for guys trying to catch a fair one, it sure didn't seem fair to me. So they're doing their thing. They end up fighting. Shark's like, I'm going home, eh? All right, then. All right. And Pepe's like, I'm going home too. I say, take your ass inside, motherfucker. Unfortunately, this is your home. So he goes in. So Ricky's like, what do you mean no fair ones? Now Ricky's finally getting it. After they fought, and I had to hold Ricky back. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump the south side. I'm like, it's your cousin. But I don't like him. Yeah, well, get your ass in the fucking house with your fat. Look at, she's eating hamburgers now. Sheila, stop, right? Damn. So I'm in that motherfucker disgruntled. I didn't even get a burger. I didn't get a hot dog. All I got was a Coors Light. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not feeling real silver bulletish. So I'm kicking back in the house and I'm trying to explain to Ricky exactly what a fair one is. And Pepe's like, I'm going to take a shower because I got to wipe the fucking blood and the cirrhosis out of my eyes. My eyes are turning yellow. No, your eyes are not turning yellow from that. They're turning yellow from fucking all that gaspa that fell in your head when the homeboy socked you in your forehead. Go do what you got to do, right? So Ricky's like, what does fair ones mean? Look, you can't introduce my primo to new sayings. He takes that shit literally to heart. Now he's going to say it forever. The other day I was talking to him. He was like, I was like, you been cool, man? Ain't no fucking problems, nothing like that. No fair ones. I'm like, oh shit. So, anyways, I'm explaining to him what no fair ones means, right? Meaning fucking you could do whatever you want. You can use weapons, whatever. A fight's a fight, man. You know, because I was always taught by my father, when you're fighting someone, you're trying to take them out. Period. That's it. Ain't no fucking like a fair one. I understand, like, hey, catch a fair one, a one-on-one, fair fade. One-on-one, that's about the most rules we're going to put on it. Everything else within that, stomp out, kick, bite, fucking, you know what I'm saying, do a monkey flip, but like whatever you got to do, go King Kong on them, handle it, go Thea on them. I'll fucking hit you with the chocolate, bitch. Like you could go whatever. Grab my, right? That's my fallopian tube. Tuck it in. So Ricky took it to heart. Everywhere we went for about a year, no fair ones. No fair ones. He's jumping out on cars on dudes. No fair ones. Well, guess what? He met a fair one. He didn't meet a fair one. He met a big black one that was not playing. This brother was a crip. And on crip, he didn't believe in fair ones either. He believed on clack, 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 Mitchy Slit shit. But on 55th, guys, right? So we go to Modesto. What happens is I got a primo from Grayson. My primo was a school teacher in Modesto. So we thought, hey, we're in Motown, man. Let's go. I never seen my cousin in action. Like, I remember my cousin. I was at his funeral. He passed away, man. I was a pallbearer there, right? Like, we were close. We were close. Not super close, but we were close. He's a primo on the other side of the family, right? So I tell Rick, hey, we're cruising. Pepe was long gone by this time. This is already a fucking year later. Pepe, get out of my head and push him. He said, I don't got nowhere to go. I said, yeah, you do. Where? Compton. Get the fuck out of here, man. Go chill over there with Latigo or something. Go. Okay, wait, I don't even get along with everybody. I said, we don't get along either anymore. You know what I mean? Unless you want a no fair one in this motherfucker, get the fuck out of my house, right? Plus, my old lady's been begging me to come back, but as long as you look, I have to choose between and and she's the but I'm gonna take the you get out of here, right? So he ended up leaving back with his mom. I told my dad, hey, you need to take care of him. There's about those eyes are turning yellow, and he just can't stop. He loves take me to Madera, I say in Sao. Take me, I made a connection. How the fuck do you meet people? I met him on Live Links. I said, he promised me a gramo, right? Just on GP. I said, take me, no fair ones. Nah, fuck that, right? So everywhere I take Rick, he's jumping out. So we go to visit my cousin at the school. We pop in on him. He's a school teacher, right? He sees us. He's like, oh shit, right? Because we're just gang banged out, red shirts, ghetto. And so my primo was a school teacher, so he comes out, but he's from the hood, from the Vaudreuil and Grayson, right? He just stopped that shit. He's loved by the Vaudreuil, but he's not in the game mix, right? He drinks with the homies and does all that shit on the weekends. That's how he ended up passing, right? But anyways, he sees us after. He's like, hey, let me take you guys to lunch. So he takes us to Jessica's. It's a well-known taco truck out there in Modesto. We go. He buys us the $1 tacos at the time. This is way back in the days. We're grubbing and shit. They're 50-cent tacos, actually. We're grubbing, right? And there's a black dude there. And this black dude, big old black dude, jumps off the car. And he's one of those type of dudes, when you see him, everyone looks like, damn, that's a big old brother right there, right? That dude had a blue rag. And all Ricky is looking at is the blue rag. And Ricky's been on this trip, like I said, trying to fight everybody, win some, lose some, but he's getting off where he's mad at. Ricky's like, I can see him. He's eating and he's saying something. I'm like, are you good? And he keeps looking at the blue rag in the dude's back pocket. He's like, no fair ones. I said, oh, no, this is a different definition. You see the size of that motherfucker's arms? This definitely ain't a fair one. You got to understand, pretty well, there's a difference between fair ones and 5-meat ones, right? That's you're like Crip Mac fighting fucking Debo. It's never going to work out for you. Ricky's like, I ain't fucking scared of him. You think because he's a brother, man, I'm scared? I said, no, I know you're not scared, but you need to be concerned, cautious, and every other fucking adjective that means fucking no, right? Just stop. So we're eating. So my primo's like, hey, man, I didn't come here for fights, man. He's a good dude, right? He's like, I just came here to just enjoy your company and your cousin, because that's my cousin, right? Ricky, not his. He's like, your cousin's a little, what's wrong with him? Right? He's got issues. I said, yeah, he's definitely got issues, but he's cool, man. He ain't gonna start no problems. So my primo, he had went in his car, he had followed us. He ends up jamming. He could see the writing on the wall. You know, so again, you could tell by the writing on the wall, right? You could just tell. So he jams. So I'm sitting there, and that black dude, he sits down there. He ordered like 50 tacos for reals. They were only 50 cents. Motherfucker ordered like $30 worth of tacos. He's smashing them, right? He's just one hitter quitters, right? He's like, I don't like the way that guy eats. I'm going to ask him if he wants to catch a fair one. I said, if you don't fucking stop it, if you do not stop it, right? Now, this big brother was by himself, so I'm thinking, okay, worst comes around, I'm going to definitely have to help Ricky. I don't want to fight this brother, though. Black and brown. And definitely black and brown at this point, right? I don't want that smoke. But Ricky does, right? Ricky's like, well, but I'm going to go tell him I don't like the way he eats. He got shit all over his lips. I said, Ricky, leave him alone. But he's got a blue rag. I said, he's a fucking Crip. That don't mean nothing to us. I don't even care if Southsiders got blue rags. Maybe they have a cold. They need to blow their nose. Like, leave it alone. No, fuck that. I'm going to put my red rag on my head. This motherfucker ties his paño on his head, right? Goes up to order a torta. I'll take a torta, maybe 2 for my old lady. Look, that black dude sees the red rag, and when he walks by, he's like, dead rag. Ricky's like, whooping. I see the huelga go up. The Cesar fucking, we don't support Chavez. Huelga go up, right? And I'm looking, I see it. And the dude's like, what, you got something to say? Right? And he says the N-word, but I won't say it for content purposes. And Ricky's like, whooping, I ain't no punk. Knocked out. Cold. This motherfucker's spitting up lengua, right? Not only is he spitting up his tongue, he's spitting up the cow tongue at the same time. There's all kinds of tongue in his mouth, right? I'm over there trying to put tongue back in his mouth like, primo, are you all right? The black dude's like, what, you wanted too, cuz? I said, what? Fuck, what's happening? No fair ones, fool. Right? I don't know what else to say, right? He's like, well, what's up then? This motherfucker sat up and kept satting up. This motherfucker did not stop eating his tacos. He done knock Ricky out with the left and shoved 2 fucking carne asada tacos with the right. And I'm like Red from fucking Friday. I'm like, no. Right? So I'm trying to reevaluate the situation at the same time, keeping an eye on him, his blue rag, and Ricky's tongue hanging out of his mouth. And Ricky gets up and Ricky says, that's not a fair one. And that dude said, cuz, what you know about fair ones? And Ricky said, we can go on the street. I can wait up. My head hurts. My head hurts. Is it worth it? I said, no, it's not worth it. Let's get the fuck out of here. No, fuck that. I'm going to catch a fair one. Now, I'm only used to Bloods up in motherfucking Modesto, man. I ain't never seen too many Crips in Modesto. But again, I'm not from Modesto. I don't know if this dude was actually from Modesto. Where the fuck he traveled from? He traveled hard and not light, right? His punch seemed devastating. Let me explain to you something. Ricky's like, I'm down to catch a fair one. He gets his equilibrium back. That dude goes, okay. Hella paisas are gathered up, right? This paisa's like, ¿por qué? Mira, este moreno está grandots. I said, yeah, he's a big dude, right? No bueno, güey. ¿Es tu familia? I said, yeah, it's my cousin. No, you need to have Mr. George. The one doesn't want to work, right? I'm like, oh, shit. But I don't really want to help. You see how hard he hit him? Oh, yes. He hit it hard. He hit it very hard. But you know how I help. I said, yeah, ponle, go help. Joe, I help myself to the rest of the tacos the Africano left right there. I help, right? I'm like, no, mal salsa, no can do, right? So they're squaring off. Now I can see this big brother, man. He ain't coordinated like I thought he was. He hit hard and he snaked on Rick, but he ain't coordinated. God is my witness. This motherfucker came forward and like they were fighting. There's like gravel right there because where the Jessica's taco truck was, it's all gravel and you could park right there, right? And there was like a few benches, tables. I don't know how it is now, but this is how it was. The benches were like in front of the taco truck, right? They were in the gravel. That brother ran towards Ricky. Ricky hit him with the crane, the straight up fucking Cobra Kai, right? That motherfucker went and slid on the gravel, and as he went forward, Ricky kneed him. Boom! That motherfucker was out, and Ricky was stomping his face. No fucking fair ones. I learned it from my cousins at Southside. I don't like him, but I learned it. I'm like, keep kicking him. Keep kicking him. I'll take 2 burritos de lengua because my cousin needs more tongue. Let's go, right? Ricky smashed this dude. I couldn't believe it was the biggest guy he ever beat up. I could not believe it. The brother got up. He was like, it's them tacos, man. Your damn bastards tricked me, right? The paisa's like, no, friend. My friend. You lost it to the paisa power. Ricky's like, I'm not a paisa. I'm a Norteno. It's the same fucking thing. You picking tomato? I picking tomato. And they said, red. We both like red. Hey, that shit was crazy, right? For a year straight, everywhere we went, Ricky's no fair ones. Hey, when he realized kicking people and doing all that shit was part of no fair ones, it was like a new beast unlocked in Rick. He was fucking everything up. Anyways, I was proud of him. I actually called my primo later on. I was like, hey, after you left, fucking Ricky fought that big black dude. He was like, damn, that fool sleep on my seat. Yeah, he slept him. He's like, shh. I seen that one coming. I said, then Ricky slept him. He said, no fucking way. I said, way? Hasta paisa. See, way. Right? With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people, man. This video right here, this funny one, is sponsored by Barrio Liquors out there in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the Central Valley in Turlock, Not a Modesto, where Jessica's is at, but Turlock, man, they got good tacos there too. Man, there's some bomb spots over there. For reals, right? Go pull up to the Vadio Liquors, man, and go get you some icy and something cold to drink, man. Thank you. Appreciate all the love. Bang, bang.